like the plant world, the genetic world in food and poultry is very limited. So it's only about 3 laying families and 1 or 2 meat families in the world. So it's pretty scary for food security.
Yeah, yeah, and so much of our food is reliant on.
I know.
On chickens and the.
Yep. So you know, we don't look ahead, do we?
Most of the eggs on the Australian market are from hybrid chickens. This includes the cage eggs, the free-range eggs and the organic eggs as well. A popular hybrid is known as the Isa Brown, which was developed in the 70s, and it's now common all over the world. When I decided that I was going to keep chickens for eggs, I wanted to find an alternative. I just wanted to see what else was out there, see if there were any pure breed or crossbreed chickens that would be good layers as well and suitable for a backyard. So I went to a poultry expo led by Meg Miller, and there I found out that not all chickens are brown, they're not all Isa Browns, there are thousands of different breeds out there. So I asked Meg to give me a more thorough introduction to chicken breeds. Miss Pippi. I just discovered about chicken breeds a couple of weeks ago at your poultry expo. I hadn't thought about it at all before then. To me, chickens were brown and they looked all the same, because those are the ones that I've only seen.
Well, look, chicken, I mean, there's a world of breeds out there that are just wonderful. Some of them are country-based, like there's breeds from the Mediterranean region, which are quite highly strung and, you know, very sexually active and, you know, great producers, so they do well in a hot climate. And then you've got your English breeds that are generally all breast, big solid hens, and look, they're probably the heavyweights that cope well in cold climates because they've got extra body fat, don't produce as well but go broody. So there's a real, you know, that's just 2 country groups, but you can look at groups of poultry. And then you can look at purpose. And
what breeds would you recommend for a backyard?
Oh, look, my #1 breed is the Australian Langshan. Yeah. And it's just a plain, mostly blackbird. They pop the eggs out like nothing on earth. Really? But they're a nice bird. They're not quite as, they haven't got the attraction of you know, pretty feather patterns, but they're all working breed. Yeah. The old-fashioned leghorns are actually good. Yeah. The Ancona, a gorgeous little Italian hen, black hen, little white V's on the feathers, you know, cheeky little comb, and you can almost see her with lipstick, you know, she's a little Italian sort of chook that's delightful. She would be my #2. Okay. Leghorns and the Hamburgs are my joint #3.
I was researching good egg layers and purebred egg layers, and the Australorp kept coming up. But this was 50 years ago. Though.
Yes, I know. So, look, I mean, I despair of the information that's around. And I met someone at a show last weekend, and they said, "Oh, I've done my online research. It's the Australorp." And I said, "You know, they're beautiful, but they won't lay much, and their eggs are quite small." Wow. Look, the rule of thumb is get a chook that's neatly dressed. Right? No bloomers. Absolutely nothing too fancy, really a simply dressed bird, and that's your layer.
What type of chickens are these?
Look, one's a Faverolles and the other's a silver grey Dorking.
Okay.
So I'm hoping the little Dorking's a female. She's quite a long tail. It's not usually a backyard breed, the Dorking. It's a rare breed, but they're fantastic layers.
Ah, okay.
So I love them. 2 of them of the Dorkings are in my project, and look, they're just divine. My project.
Yeah, your project.
Well, it's no use saying to people, "Oh, don't keep the crossbreds or don't keep the hybrids like the Isa Brown," unless I've got practical experience, because there's a lot of myth in life. So, a pussycat. So what I've done is I got...
Meg's project compares the productivity of pure breeds, crossbreeds and Isa Browns. She's currently 16 months into it and finding that she's getting the most eggs from the pure breeds. The crossbreeds are breaking their eggs, and the Isa Browns, well,
Right very early on, when they started laying, one of the Isobrowns prolapsed and they ate her, which is horrific. The egg either is too big and she's got to really push to get it out, and part of her private area pops out and the other chooks attack it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it was very tragic and I was quite distraught, but I realised that's life if you're an Isobrown.
And I discovered a breeder in Macedon, Gisborne area who sells Araucanas.
Ooh.
So
Araucanas are interesting.
Yeah.
There's no clear-cut explanation for the blue eggshell. And I do my research and I still haven't found anything that really explains how, of all the breeds, one lays a blue eggshell. They should be blue, but they can be green and khaki even, and they will go broody on you.
Okay. So what do you think? Should I get a couple of Araucanas?
Well, they'll be like the Hamburgs. So the Hamburgs, you know, the faults of the Hamburg, which would be equal to the Araucana, are they're very active and they're very smart. And so they will see where things are, just know where the new seedlings are or where they're not. Yeah.
I see.
But you can work around that.
My heart was kind of set on getting blue eggs just to be different, and the Macedon Park Emu Farm sells pure breeds and Isobrowns as well. When it comes to food, they're mostly self-sufficient. They raise animals for meat and cultivate an organic garden.
This lamb I'm feeding on was premature. He's 4 weeks old. His name is Lucky, and he's still on bottle and sleeps in the house during the night. Comes outside during the day. So I'm teaching him to be a lamb.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm his mother.
Yeah.
He doesn't know he's a lamb.
Do you eat emu eggs?
We do, but I haven't got any.
I haven't got
Last
any.
ones went today.
Oh, okay.
We had at one time, we had 600 emus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we only got 12 now. We had a bit of an accident. The neighbour's dog killed 6. So
right. It must have been a big dog.
No, they were 2 small bull mastiffs, and they were chasing the emus, and the emus run. Like, when they're upset, they don't see the fence, and they fall down, and the dog jump on them and they pull them to pieces. So it was very tragic, but yeah. We just started our vegetable garden because in winter there's not, it's very cold.
Yeah.
And as you can see, my chickens, they are in my compost heap.
Oh, yeah.
We do our own organic compost, and there's lots of worms in there. They like to pick up the worms.
Yeah. So which are more popular, the purebred chickens or the Isobrowns?
Isobrowns.
Okay.
The Isobrowns are one of the best chickens because they don't get clucky, and they will lay probably the most eggs. In the olden days, people had purebred chickens because of they used them for eggs, and at the end of their life, they used them for meat. So in the olden days, people had time to pluck chickens and do all the sorts of things. But these days, people are in a hurry, and it's easier to buy a chicken from the supermarket.
Yeah. Are people asking for pure breed chickens for something different to the Isobrowns?
Because they want something different. Mainly different colours. This one will be about 6 weeks old. If I want to fully grow them, they'll be $60 each. And lots of people do not want they can't afford to pay you $60. But for $20, they can afford to pay you $20. And most of my customers, they have little children. They like children to hold chickens and to grow with the chickens.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's no problem. Yeah. It's lunchtime, you see. They're a bit dreamy. Now, what kind of chickens are you after?
Araucanas and maybe a Welsummer.
Okay. Okay, wait, this is a Welsummer. That's a chicken.
I had enough room in the pen for a couple more layers and I wanted to try one of Meg's top 3 birds. But it took me about 3 weeks to find some Anconas, as they're not a very well-known breed in Australia.
So what chooks have you got at home?
I have 2 Araucana pullets, they're about 12 weeks old.
Oh, yep.
And 1 Welsummer, which is about 10 weeks.
Okay, yep.
So do you think it'll be a big disruption to them getting the new chickens in, even though they've only been there for 3 weeks?
Yeah, it's always, because the established girls, you've got 3 girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, the established girls have already settled into a pecking order. That's where the term comes from. And basically from there, the addition of any new girls or even a rooster will upset the pecking order, and they'll have squabbles and argy-bargies until they work out who's at the top and who's at the bottom. And if it gets too distressing to watch, go and watch TV.
So tell me about the breeds that you have.
Okay, well we have mostly pure breeds. These are Rhode Island Red Bantams. So Bantams is a size, it's not a breed. We get a lot of people who think that it's a breed.
I used to think it was a breed.
Yeah, it's a very common misconception. Bantams is basically generally half to a third of the size of a standard chook. We've got some Langshan Bantams at the moment, but we don't have any of the standard Langshans. But the people that I deal with who do breed Langshans, they're very, very enthusiastic about their breed, and it's 50-50 whether you say a Langshan actually lays more eggs than an Australorp. The Langshan breeders have often bred both and say the Langshans lay more eggs. But they've got quite a low breed profile and not a lot of people know about them.
Is that the same as with the Anconas?
Yeah, again, Anconas, because they tend to be a bit more skittish, they're a Mediterranean-based breed. They're not as well known as some of the other breeds like your Barnevelder and your Australorp, but they're certainly right up there in the egg laying, and if anything, they're a lot more pretty. They definitely add some different colour to your flock because there's not a lot of spotted chooks out there. So have you been shown how to hold a chook?
I could use some more practice.
Okay, that's fine. Open your hand up, and all I'll do, spread your fingers. I'll pop her legs in between your fingers, and then you just close your fingers around them. Okay. So if I show you how I've got her.
Yeah.
Okay. So close your legs around. Her breastbone will be sitting in your hand.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And basically the theory being that even if they get stressed, they can kick and flap.
Okay.
And because you've got their legs, they're not going to go anywhere. You're okay, honey. Okay. Chickens are the easiest pet that you'll ever have, basically. And a lot of people think that that's such a cliche, but it's really, really true.
If you want to get pure breeds, you'll find that most are sold quite young. This is good if you want to build up trust with your bird. But if you've decided that you want home-laid eggs and you want them today, then your options are limited to Isobrowns or crossbreeds. And personally, I don't mind waiting a few weeks for some heritage eggs.